So David, as you're obviously everyone else is a filmmaker who participated in some way in interpretations, but you were a juror. So I was curious, from your point of view, watching all these films, how you came about to make your selections and what you actually saw, because for better or worse, this is kind of an interesting representation of Asian American cinema. A lot of young people. We got a lot of really young people entering, like under 18 and stuff, and so we were very surprised as well.
Yeah, I was really moved by watching the whole thing, because it was, you know, I didn't know really necessarily, or there wasn't evidence. I was kind of hoping that there was this degree of kind of passion and talent and dedication out there, and you watch a lot of, you watch a bunch of these films, and they were all kind of great in their own way, and I found it really hard to make a decision. And some of the films I picked are, wound up in the top 5, and some of them didn't. But I thought there was something really to recommend, and it's not like you look at the 5 that are chosen, and they're all fantastic in their own way. And there are a lot of other of the submissions that were great also. So it was really pretty moving and humbling to watch all those films.
Yeah, so basically the way it worked was we had about 240 entries. We were expecting between 50 to 100, so we got a lot more than we thought. And we narrowed it down. We had 2 phases. So the first phase is we narrowed it down to 30 films, which was difficult in itself, agreeing on what those 30 were going to be. And then out of the 30, the judges then picked the 5. So I think, like David said, there were a lot of interesting submissions. And what we're going to do on our blog is we'll be featuring the 5 filmmakers and their films. But we're also going to be featuring some of the other films that weren't in the 5, but that some of the jurors really felt passionate about some of the other. Because like David said, he had a few that weren't up here. And believe me, some of them are very passionate about some of their choices. So we want them to say a few things about it. So you'll see those in the coming weeks in some of the other films as well. So let's just go down the line here, because you guys are all filmmakers who participated in interpretations. I'm curious kind of how you approach this exercise of using these 4 lines to make a 3-minute film.
Hello, everyone. I think that's the way I approach it, as an exercise. The reason I got roped into this, Justin Lin, who I guess launched this, he directed a couple episodes of Community last year, including our Modern Warfare paintball episode, our Halloween episode, and a lot of, yeah, he's amazing. So Justin, you're amazing. And he came up to me and he was like, hey, do you want to do this thing, like a 2-minute video? And I was like, perfect, that's my attention span, that's great. And he just basically told me it's 4 lines of dialogue and you just run with it. And I was like, this is a really cool, just anything for an artist to be challenged and be like, hey, what can you do? How much can you convey in 2 minutes with these 4 lines of dialogue? And I went right away to my buddies Tim and Chris, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to work on something together? Because I thought this was perfect for collaborating with friends. And we immediately, the first thing we wanted to do was establish a relationship, and I thought, I thought the lines of dialogue would come naturally if we had a relationship in place first. Something good, solid, a good story, and then we decided to do something crazy, fun, My friend Tim's obsessed with Michael Mann movies right now, so he's like, let's do some shots like that. I was like, I want to be a furniture salesman. We found a nice furniture store. I like running and jumping, and I like fake guns. So, we started just putting stuff together, and we shot that in like a day and a half. And after we were done, we were like, this is really exciting. And as an artist, to be able to do something and just challenge yourself and be like, hey, let's see what we can do with, all these restraints, and just kind of like just see what happens. And I thought that was really exciting. And it's really cool and inspiring to see all these other films up here, because everything is so different, but it's everyone's voice. And I think that's the idea of this kind of event, is that everyone has a unique voice, and you could do so many things with such little time and such little resources. And so it's fun to see, and it's fun to be part of something like this. And thank you for having me.
So do I just follow? Okay. The same thing. Justin approached me, because I'm one of the bloggers on Yum Yum If, and asked me if I would do a sample short. And my first reaction was fear, because I didn't want to, because I don't have a camera at home. I've never even made a home video, so for me this was a very scary exercise. But the story that I came up with kind of reflected my thoughts, because I'm like, okay, well, this is going to help like emerging filmmakers to take a chance and just do something. And so it's just like the story, I thought, well, just take a chance and do something, and I don't know, something good might come out of it. So that was sort of my process of thinking of the story, and it ended up being a lot of fun. And just like Danny was saying, I was really impressed with the shorts that came in, and just the variety, the kinds of different shorts that came out of this exercise or this contest. And you know, I was just blown away with by a lot of the entries. You know, just the quality, the storylines, the creativeness was amazing. So good job to anyone who entered and the winners.
Hello? Okay, there we go. When I first heard about the initiative, I was, I was really interested because it forced everyone to be very creative. You know, there was a common denominator. Everyone had to use the same 4 lines of dialogue, and the sky was a limit in terms of what kind of stories you can tell. But because the lines of dialogue were so vague, and they were very, they don't convey much, and so you have to kind of create that universe around those 4 lines. It was very, very challenging. And for our film, I was very inspired by kind of like that urban legend, that high beam urban legend, where someone is following you, and you think that they're after you, but they're actually trying to help you. And I thought, let's kind of take an old urban legend and kind of freshen it up a little bit and infuse those 4 lines. And so that was kind of the thought process behind my Viewpoint. Sorry, real quick. I do wanted to mention real quick that our lead actor Thomas Blankenship is in the crowd, as well as our EP Tommy. They're sitting right there. Thanks for coming out, guys.
My name's Aldous Davidson. I did How to Greet the Dead. I kind of wanted to do an action movie at first, but I didn't have the budget. So kudos to you guys. I like to write at night, like really late at night, and just one night I sat down and started writing it, and it kind of came out. Originally there's like aliens involved, like when the character goes to the other side, it was like weirdness, but didn't make any sense. And then, I don't know, I guess my subconscious was like, hey, write about your mom. I don't know if you guys understood that was what was happening, but so it kind of like came out over a period of time. So it was an interesting process.
I'm Joey. I did the one with the bottle. When I first heard about this, I knew that it had to be under 3 minutes long, which I thought was perfect because it's pretty short, and most of my stuff is under 3 minutes. So one of the main things I thought was, when thinking of the script, I noticed one of the lines is not something I do. So my main point focus was what would be something that I would not want to do, and just sort of went from there. And my other source of inspiration was, but the title. So once I got the title, it was just like, got it, moving on. And everything from there was just downhill, I think. Or uphill, I'm not sure which one's better. Uphill. Yeah.
I'm curious, how many of you in the audience are filmmakers, actors, writers, or aspiring filmmakers, actors, writers? Yeah. I don't know why I should be surprised. This is an Asian American Film Festival, so I guess that's a stupid question.